Good morning. Young County Commissioners Court's now in session, setting in a regular meeting. This is Monday, August 27th, 2018. It is 9:30 a.m. We'll make note that this meeting has been posted and published in a manner for the time required. And all members of the court are present. If it's convenient for you, please stand for the invocation.
Let us pray. Our Heavenly Father, we so thank you for this day. We ask that you bless us and bless our county as we make decisions for everybody in this county. We ask that you be with the McCain family who John passed this weekend. We ask that you be with them, be with the nation as they mourn for him. We ask that you be with the people that have lost loved ones in tragic shootings. We ask that you overcome the evil that is causing these people to do such horrendous things. We ask that you give us rain so that we much need, and we bless our land right now. We ask that you be with us, guide us and direct us. These things we ask in your name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. Please be seated. Item number 3 is our first public hearing on proposed tax increase as required by truth in taxation. A hearing to formally adopt the budget and set tax rates for maintenance and operations and for debt service has been set for Monday, September the 10th, 2018 at 9:30 a.m. in the Young County Courtroom at 516 4th Street, room 106, Graham, Texas. That is the room that we are currently in today, right at this moment. Calculation of the rates of Young County, Texas were accomplished and completed on August the 7th, 2018. They are as follows. The effective rate, 0.735902. The rollback rate, 0.799323. Debt rate service is 0.081454. The effective rate is essentially the tax rate that would be required to raise the same amount of revenue from property taxes as we had in the 2017 tax year that's currently funding our current budget today. The rollback rate is the threshold where if exceeded, the public could petition the court for a rollback election. And the debt rate is the required rate to make the payment, that is the principal and the interest, on the current bond debt that we have, and that is on our current law enforcement detention center. A tax rate of 0.79900 for $100 valuation has been proposed for adoption by the governing body of Young County, that is this court. This rate exceeds the lower of the effective or the rollback rate, and state law requires that 2 public hearings be held by the governing body before adopting the proposed tax rate. This is the first of those hearings. The second hearing will be held on Tuesday, the 4th of September. I'll now open this up for any member of the public that wishes to speak. This is the purpose of this hearing.
I'm just concerned about what the court does. You may probably have that time to discuss it. I don't know what the court.
Okay, if you will, please, sir, state your name, come up here close where our reporter will pick that up. You state your name.
James C. Ross.
We know it very well, but I don't want to get
Okay. No, this just came out, and so this is just our first meeting that we were going to attend, which we making all of them. But I was just concerned about this rollback rate. He said that's to pay the bills and the interest and so forth. That's what? Who's come up with that?
the proposed rate.
Right.
This court by majority vote.
Okay, y'all are the ones that came up with 1.79 now.
I'll explain that, I guess, to you just a little bit.
Okay.
It's confusing. It is.
It's a bit confusing.
That rate, as it's proposed by the court, we can always come down when we're moving towards our budget that we intend to adopt. That's on the 10th of September. We can always come down from that tax rate, but if we propose that rate at a factor that's substantially low, and we get in trouble with that, adopting that budget, to go higher, we would have to go back through all of this notification process and have more hearings in this same circumstance before we could increase it. So the logic, I guess you would, of the court is to set that up high, near that rollback rate, and come off of that as necessary when we're coming down to a finalized budget to adopt, if that explains the circumstances relative to that.
Jim, that rate that we set is just below the rollback rate.
Right.
Which ensures the public that we will not exceed that rollback rate.
Right.
However, our intentions were never to post that rate as a final rate.
Okay.
Because of the expanded tax base and the amount of money that we have worked on to pinch this county off at, it's going to take a lot less money than that rate would reflect to operate our budget for the coming year.
Okay.
So that is just a technical aspect of setting these taxes, like the judge said. You can go down, but you can't go up. So if we set a rate in this publication that ended up being not quite enough, we could go up and pay those bills. We'd have to take something out or go through the process again, like you said. So the $7.99 is really an arbitrary figure, but it does guarantee to the public that we will not be exceeding the rollback rate. So we're still working on this budget, and it's not final yet, and it's a good, clean budget. There's no fat in it. We've trimmed it down, so you're gonna find the rate's gonna be considerably a bit less than that 799,000.
Wait.
Is this the court that decides that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, these other meetings that are scheduled, who's gonna be in charge of those? Y'all are doing
The budget that we will have, as I announced here a while ago, will be September the 10th at 9:30 right here in this room. When the court comes to a final decision on the budget that they wish to present at that public hearing, at that time is when the court will have to adopt a budget. That's the first thing they'll have to do. And then they'll have to adopt the rate of tax that it's going to take to fund that budget, and they'll have to adopt it in 3 different measures, 3 different ways. One is on a debt rate. We'll have to establish that debt rate, and the other is a maintenance and operating rate, and the other one is the total tax rate that will be charged.
What is this, on the September the 4th, which would be?
It'll be a hearing just exactly like this. It'll be a hearing, basically, it's called a hearing on tax increase. So it's just like this hearing. We're required to have 2 hearings just like this.
Will you know at that time approximately what your price or your budget's gonna be set at?
I suspect we'll have a better idea. I don't know that we'll know exactly that.
We'll be closer than what we are now.
But it's sometime between September the 4th and September the 7th, there'll be a budget that will be presented at that adoption hearing. And the public is noticed and invited to come and make any kind of comment they want in support of or in opposition to.
I just wanted to make sure that the people of Young County and Graham think that this is a necessary tax and the next necessary option for Graham to have. So that's my concern too.
So basically, this county's pressures for finances
Right.
come in the form of personnel, benefits,
Right.
inflation, and unfunded mandates from Austin, Texas. Those are the things we have to figure in to any budget negotiations as to how much more it's going to be than the previous year's operating budget versus this year's. How much more expenses have been laid upon us. And we will try to make those as small as possible while at the same time building new efficiencies into the things we're already paying.
Is the hospital making a profit of any kind?
We're out of that loop. We don't have a thing to do with that.
Okay, who would be, or will there be someone here on one of these meetings possibly?
So this is completely, our county tax is about 17 to 20% of the bill you pay. That's what we're responsible for. The larger amount of the tax bill that you receive, somewhere near 80%, belongs to those other entities, and we have nothing to do with that whatsoever.
And I believe the hospital board is having one of their public meetings this week somehow, I'm not sure.
Their meetings are at the 4th and 11th.
4th and the 11th?
4th and 11th.
Okay, that may be.
That's probably a meeting you may want to attend.
Jim?
Yeah.
Each one of these taxing entities, if they go up on their tax above the effective rate, they'll have to do just what we're doing here. Each one of them have to have these public hearings. They've already been announced, several of them.
Right.
Anyway, hospital district has, the city, I think they've already announced theirs. The school district, they're under a little bit different law, but if you're living in the city of Graham, you'll have about 4 or 5 different entities listed on your tax, on your tax bill. Will
What
be-
does that say for the hospital, that, what, September the 4th, what time is it?
Noon,
Noon?
noon at 6:30 or 6 p.m.
This one will be at 9:30 and then theirs will be at noon.
Something like
That way
that.
it'll be.
I don't know just exactly when, remember when
I
they set
think
here.
what's confusing again is that taxes are taxes and they're,
Yeah. Well,
it's-
it's easy
we're gonna have
to,
taxes.
it's sometimes easy to get your total tax bill confused with things that the county might have control over that, and some people do, but it's really, county will probably leave you to, I think the city's tax rate, and now let's talk about rate, the city's tax rate will be less than the county's tax rate, has been for the last few years. City has the ability to produce revenue that we don't have capability to do, so that affects the rate that they can charge. So we'll probably be number 2, or, well, I guess next to the bottom, or almost next to the bottom, the highest would be school tax. And then your next maybe the county tax, and then
That's in the city, right in there.
Yeah.
and then you'll have a hospital district tax. You'll have a education district tax other than school, which will be the community college tax. So there'll be several rates on there that'll make up your total tax bill, but just probably 16–17% of that will be county taxes. Okay?
Well, I appreciate your time. I just wanted to get a few things
Thanks for your
straightened in
consideration.
my mind.
So this hearing is for y'all, and it's for you to express your feelings, for sure.
We'll take advantage of that.
Okay.
Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Tim.
Thank you for your help.
Jim, you may also check in online next meeting. If you don't necessarily come, you can see it streaming live on the computer if you're computer literate to do that. So I know I'm not.
Well, I'd rather see you smiling faces.
There you go. We're going to see you too, sir.
Thank you much.
You're welcome. See you.
No?
Just come to listen.
Okay. Is there anybody else, any other member of the public, including any of our officials sitting out here that wish to express any? You don't want to say anything to us, Greg?
No, sir, I'm good to go. I'm going to listen.
You needed to.
Thank you for coming, Greg.
Thank you.
I meant to call you the other day.
What were you going to call it?
He knows, but. You need a motion to close the meeting.
No, not necessarily, I don't think, but it'd be okay. Why don't, let's get one,
All right, motion to close the meeting.
okay?
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Commissioner Pruitt, second Commissioner Sykes to close this public hearing. Prior to that vote, I'm going to re-announce the second, as required by truth and taxation. I'm going to re-announce that the second public hearing will be held Monday, September the 4th, 2018, at 516 4th Street, room 106, Ground, Texas. That is this room, and also the budget adoption hearing is scheduled for September the 10th, 2018 at 9:30 a.m., 516 4th Street.
The September 4th is a Tuesday, because the
That is
3rd
Tuesday. It is Tuesday.
Yes.
Tuesday, yeah.
9:30.
I can write that in there. Tuesday, the 10th of September at 9:30 a.m. here in this courtroom, 516 4th Street, room 106. Okay, with that, all in favor of closing the public hearing? Carried. Okay, item number 3A is public comments, announcements, and presentations. Anybody have anything?
I have the order from the district judge for the court reporter, the auditor, and the assistant auditor salaries for $1,200 flat for each one, which is about 1.5% for the court reporter, around 2% for the auditor, and just right around 3, or a little over 3 for the assistant auditors. I'd like to go ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This order related to the salaries of the Ninth Judicial District Court Reporter, Young County Auditor, and Assistant Young County Auditor.
If I might make an announcement, I don't know if anybody's heard or not. Ray Black, longtime friend and business associate, community advocate, died at 3:30 this morning.
Right, Doug? Well, Ray was a good egg.
We're in Nathan Shack, of course, through partners.
I didn't realize, I did hear that he was having some health problems.
Cancer had moved into his liver. I don't think he's had anything to eat or drink in the past 2 years. It's all been passed through with a feeding tube. So, God has taken him home.
far as Ray Black and his family. So lots of hard.
There's a lot of positive things for Young County residents.
On down a lot of areas.
I got this, you guys, right there, bro. Keep going.
There'll be a lot of people.
Okay. No other comments, public announcements? Item number 4 is consider county clerk minutes for previous meeting, that will be August 20th. Are there any additions, deletions, or corrections that need to be made to that?
So moved.
I have a motion by Commissioner Wiley and a second by Commissioner Rogers to accept those minutes as presented. All in favor? Carried 5-0. Item number 5 is consider a treasurer's financial report and update on securities, if any.
Nothing today.
I'll think today. Okay. Item I failed to mention, I'd like to back up to item number 3A, public announcements. Thursday evening at 6 p.m., there'll be a meeting, public meeting in this room here in the courtroom with regard to a hazards mitigation action plan. It's being developed regionally by Nortex Regional Planning Committee. That's the Regional Planning Commission. It's in this courtroom.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It's, the purpose of the meeting will be to explain what a hazards mitigation plan might be and how it's being developed. And it's a regional plan that will be individualized for the 11, or actually 10 counties, because Wichita Falls is excluded in that because they have a flood mitigation action plan for Wichita and Wichita County. So they've already got theirs going, so they opted out circumstances that could be developed for 10 counties and individualized regionally for 10 counties, but it'll be individualized for each county, so they will have a mitigation action plan. One of the reasons for this is to access grant funds that are not otherwise accessible to us because we do not have an approved plan. The plan has been submitted before, it's like 10 years ago, 8 years ago or so, to TDM, or our State Homeland Security Division, but it was not approved. It had some flaws in it that were never corrected, and it fell through the cracks. So Nortex has acquired a grant of about $500,000, and there's a company called H2O that's an expert in the development of these plans, and they're doing it. They've contracted with Nortex to do a regional wide plan that will be individualized to each of the 10 counties this time. So this meeting is going to try to explain that a little bit further. There's been several, I say several, our region's been split into 3 different sections, the eastern, the central, and western. So we're in the central region. There's been one meeting in Orchard City, and there's been one meeting in Seymour, Baker County. This meeting is in Young County. I've sent all of y'all notice of that today, this morning early, on all the staff, sheriff, everybody I can think of anyway. invite them here. The more people we get, the better it will be, because it is an in-kind match, and we can count people's hours that is accumulated at one of these meetings, everybody. And it's collectively, all 10 counties, collectively will go towards the in-kind match that will be required at Nortex. So our goal is to get this plan without having to put forth any money, just our in-kind match. It's, the meeting is posted as a public meeting where there may be a quorum of the court present. No business, there's no business to be transacted. It's
I
just,
think the quorum of your court's gonna be in Austin.
oh, well,
So,
minority of them won't be in Austin.
minority, true, you're one, two.
No, I didn't even think about that. Where this is that, a couple of weeks ago, Susan McGrath, who's the director of Homeland Security at Nortex now, recently appointed our Air Daddy. He resigned and went back east into the Metroplex. That just happened a few days ago. And so Susan McGrath will be, she'll kind of be leading the meeting, I think. And she had 2 or 3 certain dates that she could be here, and got
We had
set.
this scheduled for a while. So,
I didn't think about that, apologize.
with due respect here, I would urge you to talk to first responders that you are familiar with to maybe attend this meeting, glean some information from them.
So with that, we sent that to the fire department. I didn't send it to you directly, but went to the chief and Jim Don and.
I'll make sure they're aware of this.
Yeah. Okay.
Just send it to any of our volunteer fire people.
We're at time since we did. It's 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Bid opening.
Okay, with, of course, consent, we'll slip down, it's actually about 2 minutes till, but we'll slip down to item number 10. It's the open seal bids for the sale of 2008 420E cat backhoe. With Precinct 4 Jim Wiley's assignment.
Back up, I received 2 bids.
You'll wait about a minute, will be
Okay.
proper.
I want us to be proper.
Maybe fix something like that.
Yeah, that,
This
a little bit ahead of us.
All these things are set together.
Yeah.
I was set mine this morning to this, my restaurant telephone. I think that ought to be on that, on the clock.
What about that weather?
I guess we'll keep that clock. We'll call it 10 o'clock.
Okay. Okay. I received 2 bids on the backhoe. Before the deadline. And this bid is from the gentleman that bid on it before, David Golden. He's submitting a sealed bid for $35,000.
Sure thing. What's wrong?
Hey.
Praying and waiting for the winning offer. He's funny.
He's smiling now.
He's smiling. The second bid is from Big Equipment Sales out of Lubbock, Texas. And Big Equipment is offering $31,500.
31,500.
You gonna take that one? No.
Good, let's keep money good.
Look at both of them.
Baby, so.
Did they come out and look at it?
I seen pictures too.
They're the ones that bought the motor grader. Usually pretty more.
Yeah, they bought equipment from us several times.
I guess we'll take that and
Guy
go.
in Fort Worth. Can't
Bid.
remember about my trailer.
Mr. Wiley is accepting the bid by David Golden for $35,000.
Okay, we've got a motion here by Commissioner Wiley to accept the bid from Dave Golden at $35,000. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Gary, you gonna call David? Okay. I will call Rusty if they, let him know.
All right, approve it. Accept Golden bid. At $35,000. All in favor? Okay, carried 5-0. Item number 6 is consider auditor's budget amendment, payment of vouchers.
Don't have any budget amendments today. I presented the one the other day for the constable vehicles, and I did get that payoff, and got that check in the mail this week, so. Vouchers, total of vouchers is $45,281.73. And out of the general fund is $28,994.94. 91 cents.
So we go vouchers.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Wiley, second by Commissioner Pruitt to approve the payment of the vouchers as presented. All in favor? Okay.
And also, I had spoke with you before about the district judge's door locks, camera not working properly. This is a bid from Texas Made Security, which is Pete Clark, which is Tom Ramp's son-in-law that is putting in these now. Tom Ramp's son-in-law that works out of there, he's putting in these security cameras and things. This is a bid for, we talked to the district judge, monitors in there and push button, because his is currently not operating. And I'll sign it. Marcia took him up there and talked to him. What was it?
It's actually a pretty effective little setup here. There'll be 3 monitors. They're just a little standalone monitor, not very big, and a camera that's mounted on the outside. And the person can mash the button, and any of them in their offices can look at the monitor and reach down and get the
So
door
what's
lock.
in the DA's office?
No, it's
No, when I looked at that,
it's
that
not
was
quite as
nearly
elaborate.
$4,000.
Yes, this does everything but that. I mean,
Well, I mean, that's what that does.
yes, but at
This
14
does it for
Catholic, not 4,000. He's gonna utilize the door locking system we have and just build from it. So, work great to be at their desk and not have to jump up and run around.
$1,300.
Yeah.
They can activate the door from any place in there, and they can see.
And I'm thinking maybe downstairs, this might be a better system when we get ready to work with elections or whatever. This is a pretty, it's all hardwired in, and it's pretty redundant.
I looked up the one that we used out of Wichita Falls for the DA's office, and I think it was between $3,500 and $4,000. I can't remember exactly how much.
And adult probation was like $1,000 or so higher than that one.
And we're shopping in the county.
Yes.
Is there any benefit to having, light equipment around here where we've got a deal working, but we've got bids, proposals, and different items, Guardian.
Well, Guardian would be quite a bit higher than this, or this is just for that office. To add them to that.
I don't know, right now, the ring's not working on there, so when they open that door, they don't know who's behind that door pushing that button.
When can this be done?
I'm sure he can do it whenever I give him the go ahead, we'll get the stuff ordered.
I haven't heard any good things about these people since I've been
Yeah,
part of this business.
for what you get, there's a lot of bang for your buck right there.
And there's a little over $8,000 in courthouse security right now.
And if there's a problem, he's local. He'll be here and look at his.
Yes. So,
Do you think this will last longer than that ring?
well,
That was a $60 fix. That
Right,
was a
and let
cheap
me
fix.
explain what happened with the ring. The ring still works, but on court day or any other day when 50 people are sitting out there with all their telephones and different Wi-Fi things, that ring is having a hard time distinguishing
board.
between the it wasn't made. I tried to make it work in a tie, which was a cheap fit, but it's really made to be set to a primary. It's an outside version. I tried to make it do something. Now it still could be used inside, and I have a couple of ideas, like down in Kay's room down there.
Downstairs? Toward here?
And point, use them and point them toward the window. Well, there's not a lot of different people walking through and 100 different Wi-Fi's all trying to ping it. And it makes, I personally have these at home, had them a year and a half and had no trouble out of them. And I know everybody that walks within 15 foot of my house. So it just, I tried to make them.
She is.
Okay, this, you got this system.
No, I have the ring. But it's
$60.
Well, mine wasn't that, mine was a little bit more. But for what it was used for at the time, the ring just let them know who was out there. They still didn't have the door locking system. So this is gonna give them the option of knowing who it is and being able to say it and punch them in or punch them out.
No one knows they won't let them in.
Right.
I make a motion to go ahead and use Texas Main Security on this situation and get it rolling.
Funding it out of courthouse security.
Money comes out
There's
of
a little over
courthouse security.
$8,000 in courthouse security. I don't know where else.
Let's get that courthouse security.
Courthouse security forward.
Yeah.
I'll second that.
Tax dollars.
Motion by Commissioner Wiley, second by Commissioner Pruitt, to expend $1,407.24 out of courthouse.
Tax on
Yeah.
Well, then we will pay it, 1,300.
Yeah.
Okay, that'd be 12, just over 12.
$99.99.
We'll take care of that, so.
$12.99.99 out of courthouse security for repair on the district judges automatic locking system. Right. All in favor?
Yeah.
Okay, 5-0.
Marcia, you discussed this with the district judge?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Well discussed.
It's been well discussed.
It was a long and arduous negotiation, but we got it done.
Is that all, Ms. Auditor?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Item number 7 is consider employee bonds. Teresa Grimes, Young County Community Supervision and Corrections Department at $5,000. So moved.
I'll second that.
Motion by Rogers, second by Sykes, to approve employee bond on Teresa Grimes as presented. All in favor? Aye. 5-0. Okay, 8 is item number 8, ratify contract for 2018 to both skid steer with Farm County Incorporated, financed by First National Wichita. We've approved this already. It's, I think, we executed the contract. Cheryl, you have that contract?
There's a copy in here.
Is it, I have a copy of the
It is, there it is.
Okay.
It's 5 years.
Use that is to send it to some allocation.
Right.
Ratify it.
3.65%.
We need to look at a lot, 3.65%.
I move to accept that.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Mr. Pruitt, second by Mr. Sykes to ratify the contract as executed. All in favor? Aye. 5-0. Item number 9, discuss and consider vehicle for juvenile probation. Mr. Heath Henderson, our chief juvenile probation officer.
Sir, I'm just in today to check to see if there was a possible vehicle. I understand that we received an estimate on a 2008 Ford truck. It's considerably lower than the other bid from the fleet service that we were checking on earlier. Around $4,000 cheaper, plus we would save on the interest of the leasing of the option, or lease option of the other vehicle. My financial officer is not here today, so please excuse me if I don't have someone explain the numbers of the budget.
Well, I'm the fiscal officer.
I think you're talking about
Kathy's got the numbers.
Kathy.
But I spoke with Kathy, and she showed me the numbers that you expecting to have around 30.
Yes. We had an unusually low year of spending, and that allowed.
You were frugal.
Yes.
You have ample enough funds.
Funds left in the budget to do that?
Yes, we're.
Well, not in the budget, but in their funds from
Our funds.
what is given to them.
This fiscal year.
That's a cool
Next
thing.
fiscal year, I'm not.
You did good.
That's a cool thing right there,
Not
because
that
that
you
way, you're gonna save a lot of money by doing it that way,
Yeah.
you know.
The bicycle's out though.
No bicycle.
I would enjoy it. I'd enjoy it. Anybody else would.
What I would suggest doing would be is to take the Suburban, we'll see, we can't sell that Suburban. Take the monies off that Suburban to outfit your pickup. And what is left, put it back in the same fund balance that you took that money out of.
I think we decided to put the Suburban on gov deals, is that right?
I don't know, y'all are still discussing that.
Figure out.
Something like that, it might be,
I
it
think
might
you
be
get the
better to
biggest
try to
bang for
take
buck.
sealed bids on that. You might get more
I
for
think
it
you probably
locally
get
than you
more
would
for it.
on there.
Okay, it'd be worth a try. But anyway, the pickup, we already told you you wanted the pickup, so all we gotta do is, Marcy, Cheryl's been in contact with the guy, so.
Would selling that vehicle be something we could do through here and open up bids, or
We'll-
take sealed bids on that? Because if it has still in very good shape, it does have a lot of miles on it.
It does. It'll get you down the road, but it does have a few things.
Do you think the plan more useful still, get one vehicle, use it over there too, it's
Yes,
gonna
sir.
work for you?
Yes,
Rather
sir.
than buy two?
Yeah, we're gonna leave one vehicle in Stevens County, and then the truck will stay here.
I think we'll be surprised when we get out of this.
Maybe.
Typically, this truck looks like it'll be a 10+ years investment, the amount of time that we keep vehicles, and so.
It's got the Echo boost and the 36-gallon fuel tank on it.
Yes. It looks like it'd be perfect for us, it's gonna save fuel mileage compared to the other vehicles, so. Looks like a good vehicle.
How many more years you think you know that Impala?
We're gonna see. I don't know, it's
Only God knows.
That's an unknown.
Okay. Guess we need we're gonna do that on this year's
Yes.
budget. Their current year budget.
yes, our budget. Yes, sir.
Because it
We'll
starts
need a
over
motion,
September 1st.
To authorize the purchase of vehicles for Young County Juvenile Probation Court. Signs. You got a second?
I'll take it.
Wiley? Authorize purchase. Got 150.
That 154.
For juvenile probation.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yes, sir, thank you. Appreciate your hard work.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. I'll get with you, Cheryl. I'll get with you.
We did decide to go out for bids on
Discuss
that.
on that. Okay.
So, on the going out for bids, do we need to put it on the agenda to go out for bids next time? And then,
We can probably do that on this, we should be able to do that on this. We're discussing and consider a vehicle with juvenile probation, so we ought to be able to authorize the vehicle.
Yeah.
so put it in the local paper, run it, I need to run it a couple of times, and then open bids on September the 4th.
Let's see, we'll need two once in 2 different weeks.
Let's see.
September 11th.
Maybe the next meeting.
It was the Wednesday, we get it in Wednesday.
Maybe if I can get it in there.
And then we'll get it in next Wednesday.
Yeah, 11.
We want to try the 11th. How about that? Open bids on the 11th. That will give us
Is
a
it
little
the
more
10th or
time.
11th? 10th, I
10th, we
believe.
have a meeting. 10th.
That way it gives us a couple more weeks. Maybe
Well, I
give us
need to
some
advertise for two,
Yeah.
so yeah, that's right.
weeks. I really do think it will sell.
September 10th at 10 a.m.
What year is that? That Suburban?
2006, I believe,
How many miles?
170 plus.
I might get some information from someone with that. Bid at it. I don't, I know it has to be in this morning.
What's that?
23rd.
Yeah, 4th is just a week from today.
Yeah, I had to have, it had to be the 10th.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or wait.
10th, is that a Sunday?
10th is on,
10th.
10th is on Monday.
10th is a Monday.
Oh, actually, our first regular meeting.
Well, 10th.
Oh, that's right.
That's the
4th
same-
is because of Labor Day.
Yeah. 10th is the same day we're supposed to adopt the budget,
Oh, we forgot about a holiday.
or tax rate, or what.
Okay. Who's gonna have that motion?
I'll make it.
Wiley? I think. Rogers? Two, request bids for one, what model is it?
2006, you think?
2004, 2006, I'm not sure.
Somewhere down here. Do you? Probably need to
We'll
have.
get the exact.
Yeah, I'll get it. Oh, he's got it.
2004.
I'm sure you got the title.
I'll accept bids till Friday, 4 o'clock.
We'll insert it in all of you.
Is that the 7th on that Friday?
That's Friday, the,
September
Seventh.
7th?
4 p.m.
And open them on the 10th at,
We open from 10. That's, let's see what we do. That's our budget adoption hearing. So,
um,
9:30, 10. scale meeting on that day or
On the 10th.
on the 10th?
Well,
Well, we'll have a public hearing and, we'll be finalizing the rate.
Let's do that, let's try to do that at 11.
11,
Yeah.
okay.
Just in case we have some,
Yeah.
Things,
Okay.
11.
yeah.
it's at 9:30.
Okay.
Maybe that'll give us time to, we know to deal with the budget however we have to. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Item number 11, discuss and consider burn restrictions,
Just we continue with what we've got.
no action.
Dry.
Okay. Item number 12, budget workshop, any matter pertaining to the budget.
Y'all wanna work on that?
Can we take a
Yeah, give us,
10, 15?
what is the tax rate as we set with what we've done on the budget so far?
This one is, you can take a break.
Yeah, let's take that break.
Okay.
Oh, well, let's get back here at 10:30, that's about 8 minutes.
So what time are you
No, you
at?
gotta do it.
22.
10:22.
Y'all did hear that Ross is taking
Yes.
Yeah, so I didn't take that $7,500 out of the venue
it's
because
supposed to
we
happen
will not
on
have that
Tuesday.
trial in Jack County.
That would be great.
So
That's saving
7,500
lots
more
of
we
money.
take out of there?
I already took it out.
Already took it out? The number you got figured is about it?
Yes.
Pretty okay.
Put that back in my.
I just went ahead and make
They-
the copy.
Since I found it.
They said that was yours. Dibs. She dibbed it already.
Here we go. Do you want copies of these? No, thank you. No, thank you.
So that meeting on Thursday, what are you doing?
Delegation action thought.
And what are the matters that you're
Well, we've got this as in accordance to the wildfire, flood, and whatever. Our, what we're susceptible to here, this is what we're most susceptible to here in the county. And mitigation is the act of taking measures to lessen the impact or eliminate the impact. Damage to the, that's what we're going to do. Hopefully it's lessening the impact. Take it there. In-depth plan. They're expensive.
At least 15, 16 bucks an hour.
They're almost like a workshop right now. But it's gonna be a regional.
Thanks for coming.
Regional.
Did you need any information out of it?
Yeah, I did.
Each separate county.
In conversation
Ten
before,
counties will be
people want to look at road rush programs,
10 plans.
and they don't realize it's so much going on.
Magnitude is good.
You Thursday to go.
And this is the micro government of what's in Washington. And the sooner we realize that, the sooner we get interested in this. And, you know, people argue they can't come to the time, well.
They don't have money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm lucky, my job gives me, after 24 hours, I get $48. I usually fill that with the
So let's, 2003. Yeah. You don't buy any scratch offs today, okay? Okay, we'll go ahead and give that to Cheryl. Hey, Cheryl.
It is sad that everybody gets so caught up in their own little world, and they don't take time to look at it.
Believe me, Rick, you're sitting here watching this, and we're talking about $10 a dollar. You know, but they were throwing money around in $100 bills. It's crazy.
No.
We're watching every line of every item in that budget. And there's
I use Marla as an example of one conversation. Her main focus right now is the granddaughter and Joe. And she's doing sports in Newcastle. She's doing FFA in Newcastle. She is a 14-year-old sophomore in high school.
That's what was all over Facebook.
It's not that anyone.
Yeah, and they were putting up the county budget.
She's sort of putting all that together. It makes a
And I thought about
big
that,
picture.
and I thought,
And
well,
Marla has to plan for it.
and then my son-in-law asked me a question, and I said,
Her
well,
mother lives with them now, and her husband still
But it
lives
has
with her.
nothing-
And it's so hard to look outside.
Our 17, 18, 20% was local opposition. When you can actually see the county clerk, keeping your dues in record, keeping your purse, keeping all the stuff that goes, wills. And then you go to district clerk, who's tied up in the judicial system, keep records all of
And it was, we were trying to raise it 13%.
You know, and for them to think, well, y'all just gouging us because it didn't think you'll put him in the road. We're not.
But the thing is, road is just part of the infrastructure of our discussion. There again, it's what we should see our vision.
Is it what does?
You know, when my road gets bad, I slow down.
Yeah.
If I'm in a hurry.
Those are not watching the speed.
Look, here's the thing. We have 35 miles an hour at speed. This all came from when Frosty Beckers dog was supposed to buy us. And Frosty.
Keep your damn dog in the road.
That dogs are not for the road.
Sorry, because I get yours.
My dog's not supposed to be in the road. And there was a time and place for everything. And I thought it was always a little short. And that's what he did. So
It's a 2003 Suburban.
And
New miles is 175.
Do you think I need to put that in there? What I'm gonna do is,
Issues that I have.
no, I think what I'll do is I'll put that we're
20 or 25 there,
accepting.
you don't lose that much time.
Do you have a problem with people calling you down there to schedule to come look at it?
I know other people do.
Because I let it
That'd
go
be
down.
okay. And I just put the regular phone number.
You creep up to this.
As long as I'm, certain regulations about the ball, they're allowed
Those
to.
people start the fire station,
Drive it,
start off again.
or they're gonna be just doing initial reason.
You know, they think if they can run slow,
Then you start.
And I guess you'll need to take that,
they don't assess the situation, take a look at it, they just.
and I need to.
See, that's where you always focus on the situation and side assessment. First, make your decision based on what is it I have.
Trying to think.
You know, what are the conditions I'm dealing with?
There's so many solutions.
I need to see where that was.
You sit down and take a look at it, it's that 250 foot.
Get 5 for
Right now, the most important thing.
that'd be okay.
I didn't even know make sure y'all spend my money right.
There's what we're trying to do.
I had the same problem with my wife.
I
had no sense of
that.
That's the sad part.
Oh, I gotta get my coffee. Let me write that.
Howard?
My wife also
Oh,
said.
I'm sorry.
Now,
And I just
the new
plugged it
guy,
in. She had been, Peter was working, Peter was working on her stuff, and I was trying
he
to.
told me.
I just put it on the
Discussion.
Yeah, but it looks pretty good.
It was gonna be his weekend spot.
And I may go ahead, I'll put the mileage on there.
Relation wise, it's the same. And Wayne told me that
Do you want,
talk some.
seat options or engine
He
signs?
got the couple he needed. He has been trying to get out and start and be on.
It also has
I see one.
towing package on the road.
I agree.
Like I said, you have to say, they're gonna come look at it.
Amen.
You know, I just assume, since they're gonna come look, you got, I just assume they come,
We
you
rolled
know,
up
here,
there
come
and
look.
what did is just, he said, "Tell Dick."
We need to take, they come and look at it and
He looked out and
see
said,
y'all
"Y'all,
tag
the
everything.
Lord showed him something, he listened.
Just when it's, before it leaves,
Back on the line for that. It's sad, it truly is. But
It may be my fault. But that's good business.
And that's the whole thing. If it's good business, and for one group to be doing it, they're limited budget. I remember when the county fire budget for all 5 stations was $43,000. It's way past that. And they've done so much, and they've accomplished so much. We didn't actually work with them. I run a brand new fire truck that we built. The paint was still wet out here. Me and Gene Dozier brought it up there and they said, build us another one. And they came in. When we showed them what we were capable of doing. And that we were willing to work. They were willing to try us. It's when the rural fire department failed to show what they were able to do, that they're not being funded. Well, that makes good sense. Because I don't want you throwing money out there if they're going to be using it and paying our house payments with their bingo machines to raise it under the flag of the rural fire department. And that's, you're absolutely right, a contract makes good sense.
You spend that kind of money to put everything up there, get it over ready to go. And then one day you get kicked off, so that way you do it. And you're like, that's what you do.
And so, like, look at it.
Let's bring you a chair here. Move Travis's hat.
Yeah, see, that's not looking at the bigger picture, that's looking at, and I've been offended. Shit, I didn't think you come to work. You know, and that's from the guys I work with.
Okay, here, what I'm giving them is what I've worked up. This is a copy of current year's rate and all that. I'll set it here, Mac.
Got a great, elevation over it, we've got a high opinion of it.
So what year was the juvenile?
It was a 2003.
And,
Oh, it's not even a 4.
we'll probably go to charge. My wife, we talked about, she said, I don't want to look up the horses and pumping and the radio.
She's like, they see the radio tower,
Well, she'd have to go out, and look out to the east where the pressure station is. And we've got more trees over there and we've got the existing fire over there. So,
Okay, my bad, I had a
I
copy.
understand.
Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, I just lied.
My wife got those windmills off from somebody's place, they moved on the other side of the fence, and now they're not getting the income because you live in it.
I put an A in there, I said, I'm going to my shop. She said, what is that? I said, why is that? I said, slaughter dead. She says, well, that pack kills the skyline.
It shows a lot of trust.
That's still not trust. Things you go to is fall backwards, let your friends catch you.
That's my friends. My friends go like this and
Tom Will is making a trip to Arkansas that he intended to make, so buddy went away.
She's always.
you know, it really worries
She heard the
me
dog bark, but she never.
when he goes off by himself.
But.
He put this thing on Donna's phone so that like she can see where he's at, you know.
Oh, really? So she tracked you?
Yeah, so last night, I guess, her phone, I don't know what it was, anyway, he knew that at 4 o'clock, by 4 o'clock, I'm either out there or headed out there. I do it every Sunday afternoon. So he calls me, tell Donna, answer your phone. I said, I was just turning on the lower talk. I said, I'm nearly there. And she said, well, it's right, it was right over there. She can't hear.
Pay attention to that intersection at Gatlin, Regalado trucking to find out how bad that turning of those trucks is.
I was looking at that, you can certainly see where they've been turning.
Yeah, it's still raw.
Yeah, it hadn't really damaged it yet, I watch that. Because there's two, there's that entrance and then there's the one down here. I don't know if they're going in one and coming in.
Donald like the rest of it?
Yeah. It's really nice. You know, and I just watch myself and stay in that speed limit. I haven't seen anybody going any faster than they ever did before. I worried about that.
One of the good things about covering a road and not getting it real smooth.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's nice to leave it.
It is. Remind him to do this. That's her new thing.
Y'all move up here. If you wanna hear, move up here.
I don't want to
Thank you.
live there. I gotta leave in a little bit, take one.
Try to get your chair.
Do you need anything, Carly?
What night is the Purdue lunch?
I forgot.
Wednesday.
Wednesday or Thursday?
Donald Trump says
Yeah.
he will get rid of the name after the U.S. and Mexico reach a bilateral agreement on trade.
No. I'm trying to think of money.
Wish they would leave him alone,
Coming
let
in
him
or-
work.
Let him get her done.
I mean, I'll be here tomorrow.
Well,
If I need, I'll
You're
text.
gonna have to, get that checkup before the end of the month. For June.
We need an antifa around here to show people exactly
Well,
how
that's,
much you're working.
yeah. I just talked to him and he said that he had his gone, but he could walk her through that. I said, let me get with Jim a while and I'll get with that guy. and
So
we'll
guy,
get
I
that
take a
check
picture of the
through.
Confederate monument this
Oh,
morning.
so you'll sign it for
get a
you.
little,
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Hey, Miss Ann.
He's on a motorcycle.
Nobody's gonna be here Thursday.
I know, go in my office in a little while.
I'm worried about the plan. My guys, we've already discussed it.
We don't have numbers, we don't have.
Takes a locust to send.
They will go to jail.
Send them to jail. First off, they have to have a committee permit for the kind of public gathering, don't they?
that ought to be the federal time.
Well, you guys said they
I
do.
guess you could call it.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
It might go,
If we have a
Mass
protest
gathering.
group show up in the Confederate monument.
Mike, there's a check in there for you before you leave.
Mass gathering.
Check.
And
They gotta-
you'll
they
sign
gotta have
the
a-
whole thing.
Oh, I'll do that.
45 days prior.
Not that they're all in violation of our,
Mass gathering.
city, or county ordinance. True.
I'm so proud that y'all got my computer back. I mean, I was weary.
Y'all did set a ruling on it,
But he said, have you got me?
and I can't remember how many y'all.
Well, use it to your favor if you can.
Well,
I
they're
think we're
not-
gonna open up a racetrack again in a restaurant.
This is new.
They can legally, if they do it legally.
So here they're putting in a hotel out at Stovall Hot Wells. That's gonna require an actual road. 200 room hotel,
Really?
200 room hotel. Pretty quickly, bunch of New York money coming down here to do this. Buying that mineral water. So Mr. Blackwell told me.
And you did, I made some people.
Well, I haven't heard nothing of it. I mean, I'm gonna have to repay my hot wells.
There's a lot of traffic coming down the road. Look at the Rosser Range Road.
Oh, my God.
When they're gonna be through with
How far is it from the, turn off down to the
Yes, where the.
well side?
Yeah, not very far, miles.
What about?
They took our internet.
Mr. Blackwell out on Gatlin Road?
They're buying or leasing.
No, he is leasing it, I think.
Oh, well, yeah, they
Some
had.
investors out of New York City. I want to buy that mineral water. At the same time, they're wanting to reopen the hotel.
She said Friday afternoon, I guess. They had to take.
When are they gonna, do you know when they're gonna start working on the bakery?
I thought that was normal.
No, I do not.
The internet, you know, and everybody.
The enthusiasm has waned on that
Well, there's a
particular
bunch
board.
of signs up.
Is there really?
Yes.
I don't know. It's
Because
been
that.
3 or 4 years since that election.
The people that are doing that Baker Hotel also are doing the Arlington Hotel in Hot Springs, but they had a limit on the time that they could do the one because they're getting grant money because it's on the national parks.
But the
So I
internet.
think they had to focus on that one and then they're coming back.
Do this a couple
You know, if
times.
you could consider that like some kind of a national park or something like that.
No, but
Just get your
Hot
road
Springs
paved.
is national park
You know what I'm
land,
saying? You can get some kind of grant for that.
but they couldn't make it in
So
this.
Mr. Blackwell said this mineral water here at Hot Wells is better than one stuff in
That's
Hot
the way we
Springs.
don't, we make
That's
sure
why they're
it
gonna
cost us.
Try to do it.
All right.
That's what I thought.
Deep down inside.
Yeah, have you sulfide gas being
That
dropped
what?
in all.
Where?
Thanks to our old wells, that's why they're there. Nah, old wells.
A vault you find down.
But I thought Norman on
It's a
that.
hydrothermal vent tracking.
What does Brian do know how to do
Oh, but
it?
you're gonna show it, because now I've got to figure out.
Right on the
Same side.
Car comes around, it's right southeast of
Corbin's
his
property.
car there on where the parkway is.
Is it big dog?
It's about 4 or 5 feet deep. About
Anyway, call it back to the office.
Anyway, there's a neat little piece of gossip.
the manhole.
I love to go to those things.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people in the world like you that would also come, you know.
I
Like
go
I
to
said, we
one,
could use the income.
I like the one, I go to one in,
No, I didn't know that.
outside of San Luis
I
Obispo,
knew
right
there
on the
was
beach
something
up
out
there.
there, but I didn't know it was no.
They water boil
I told them, I
also?
said, there's a
Huh?
place
Is it
out
hot
there
water?
with some wires
Well,
coming
they have
together.
hot tubs, they don't have it in your room, but they have hot tubs and you just turn a valve and it fills up your hot tub on your patio.
Every day at a bar.
And it's a spa. They
Does it
got
feel good to
it.
get out?
They go up in the hillsides, there's,
Can you tell if you're
oh, it smells so sulfury, but I had really bad allergies. I was curious
Clean them
about
up?
trying
Defoliate you?
Equipment in there of some sort. You
Do
know
what
what
needs to be done.
I like the one in Hot Springs too. You went, they have rooms that the hot water goes into your room.
Yeah.
And they have spas, pretty low tech, but not making they have some good.
Turner Falls used to have a fountain of sulfur water there.
Same.
Oh, you used to take that water by the little Coca-Cola bottle full, she didn't drink.
But your sciatic couldn't be cured.
I could use
They
it.
worked on my leg and they didn't have for 6 months. We just went up for the weekend, hung around Hot
Is it
Springs.
real expensive?
where it came from through there? Or
Massage $90.
I'll just grab Sherry some weekend when you
The
go.
hotel's kind of pretty.
Take back my comments.
You can sit on the
It's
veranda.
gotta be better than Margie's house.
Norman still on that, with that hot wells, the old bad house.
They got a really good place
You
to
know,
eat
Stonewall
breakfast.
Circle
It's fun. It's
Cool.
not very far.
You got your trip already. There, just go and do it.
I mean, if you feel that much better, I
Mr.
would.
Blackwell said he told me that when he was there.
Well, they stole that to, who's gonna put it in?
Mr. Blackwell told me that. He told 2 people that.
New York.
Mr. Who?
Blackwell, Gatlin Road.
Oh, that's nothing, I don't believe that.
Well, I went to the county and invaded sulfur water.
But, you know,
Clapper.
oh, look,
Well, you get 34, 64, 25, 22,
lived out there.
And so I talked to Travis about that 2,000 for the K-9 1,000.
Oh, yeah.
And I put it in this budget.
Oh, you just have to remind me to find out who gets it.
See his place.
what they have on these is,
We're back in session, it's, 10:43.
I've given you a copy of the new budget, and I gave you a copy of the current budget, what the rates and taxes are on what we are currently working on in the 2018. In the new budget I gave you, I've added $1,200 per person for raise. I changed the hot tax to $50,000, and I've put 40 and 10, leaving the into the Fort Belknap budget.
Hot tax bill, that's, you just increased the other part, so that's basically worked out.
Yes, the capital improvement into Fort Belknap to 40 and the promotions to 10,000. Moved the Humane Society from 25,000 down to 2,000, which is, or 20,000. So it's 2,000 over what it was. We were given 18,000. I took out, we talked about putting 7,500 in for change of venue. I did not put that in because we don't need that anymore. Stacy, I fixed, I had fat fingered it and put the Alney Volunteer Fire Department 2,000 instead of 20, and I fixed that. I also added 2,000 into, there's a K-9 pay line in the SL budget. We're supposed to pay those officers a little bit more for taking care of the K-9. We used to always give them 1,000 more a year than the regular deputies, and I've added 2,000 into this budget to, we have to compensate them.
We're stapling it up.
But,
So I
that's not gonna, I mean, that'll be an SO cost, but it'll be a salary incentive for addition,
Yes, in addition to.
additional party.
Yes, sir. I added $15,000 into the SO budget to the principal. So it has $47,205, added $5,000 to interest to compensate for the 3 vehicles that we talked about in there. I changed the jail electricity from 20,000 to 22,000 because it looked like that was running short. I did.
But we will give them a different.
Yes,
Yeah.
so hopefully
It's
that.
gonna be low, but it should be lower.
Yeah, I hope so. I did add that line in for reimbursement from Olney for that, I put $4,500 in there. I'm assuming that October hopefully will be our last month for that Olney debt. I mean, should I put,
So far, they only have 2 officers in.
okay. So I may need to go more than just 1 month on that. I put 4,500 in here for that line.
Think you might need to put 9?
Maybe, in case we have them, I mean, because right now, I was just
I don't
going
foresee
on
it happening in.
August, September, that's gonna be in this year, well then October's gonna be in the new.
The higher rate's gonna be slow, huh?
So far, I mean, they've hired 1 person. And even if they hire another person, we'll still
Still be there.
be there.
Their obligation was even if they had 2, wasn't it?
So
When we
that-
started with this, it was just, they only had 1.
So they're 2 hires away from replacing our agreement.
So I've only compensated for October if I need.
How's that working?
They're good.
Just picked up those
2. And we also, Young County arrested another one the next day for the burglaries that they were on around there.
Oh, you're already.
Oh, yeah.
What's the most popular? Pull it down over?
We doing all this stuff.
Yeah, sure. I never been in trouble in my life. I wouldn't do anything wrong. We see that you're in trouble.
Already raised
Had you not get in trouble, you'd not be on probation.
You doing it voluntarily? Yeah. Never been in trouble in his life, no probation.
So do I need to move that for another month, make it 9,000 on the reimbursement for the only deputy?
I don't do what?
See, I've only compensated for October for keeping that agreement with only having that deputy for them to reimburse us $4,500.
But the sheriff's opinion is that they're not gonna be ready to come off that agreement in October, so we're going to another month to pay.
You saying we'll might have that agreement through
We
November?
know we got to offset revenue.
I'll do it through the first 2 weeks now. The first of the year.
I probably went to the first of the year too.
Okay.
But I thought that was our agreement anyway, wasn't it?
It was unless a 30-day notice was given.
Right.
So 13.5 in there?
That's gonna wash the revenue, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're coming out of his budget, which also in his budget, I did add that extra deputy, so there's now 6 deputies out of the deputy line.
So 45 times 4, 3.
I put 13,500.
Was it this year?
Okay. Don't get it to the first of the year.
Yes, sir.
And I guess Ann was just talking about the delinquent taxes.
We asked you a question on the top of that.
Yes,
010, 310, 110.
Current tax.
yeah.
Why is that number smaller in 19 than what 18? It's not.
Well, it's not, it's a little
Year
odd,
to date's not.
but 2017, 2018.
See, we budgeted, that's on our current taxes,
Right.
and we say we're gonna get 95% of what, so we use a 95%, so we always collect,
More.
or
I got
hopefully,
you.
but if you don't collect more, you're gonna have enough to
I
pay
got
that
you.
budget.
That makes sense.
That's like that number we published in the paper.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Ann was saying that she thought that we could put 40,000 in there for delinquent taxes. We're at nearly 41,000 right now. What did she say?
45,000.
45,000, because she's still receiving, so we still have,
What history there?
oh, history is.
63, 74, 78.
History's been bigger.
Yep.
So collecting more taxes and your delinquents go down.
74, 63, 40, 52.
No, those still stadiums gone now, right?
Yeah.
Because it's been bought, so we don't have that anymore.
Well,
We got money on that.
yeah, we're not gonna make a budget election this time, are we?
The 62, we're at 41 now. I mean, I don't know if they're still sending some. Anything we collect now is delinquent, right? It may be a little under that
I say
62.
45, probably pretty close.
I suspected it would be 41.
Do you think we're more likely to have a year like this one next year than we are 3 previous years?
The higher percentage collection you get, the less it's classified as delinquent.
Is that what that number is reflecting, is a better collection rate?
I'm pretty confused too, with figuring the collection rate, you know, it's where you collecting, where you figuring the rate on 95% of collection, or you figuring collection rate on 100% of taxes levied.
We were talking about the wind farm this morning.
Building it like
2020 on the meeting.
2020, okay.
You know, on
It was done in
the
2010.
budget, if
I thought it was,
we collect, if we collect, actually collect 93%, or actually collect 97%, then it looks like we collected more taxes than we budgeted for. And we did budget,
Right.
but
Our delinquent tax
we're still having delinquent taxes left there, it's not 100%.
So I think we ought to go up a little bit on that 40, go to 45 maybe on the delinquent taxes.
I agree.
But we're already ahead of it, you know, so.
Calculate.
Well, the judge and I were just discussing,
And that's,
you know, if you do, if you collect real well, your delinquent taxes go down.
Well, it's probably through, I think she gets those weekly or something, it's probably through some of August. So we're probably gonna say, I'd say we're gonna have, September, all the weeks of September, and then another week, well, probably a couple weeks behind. So I'm saying 6 weeks more.
okay, I don't know what that just, sure enough, swag.
I know.
Yeah, but a lot of this stuff is,
Try
read the crystal ball.
Just try 45, just for
We need an 8 ball on this table, turn it over, change.
gins and giggles.
And then the 101, 360, 101.
360?
Revenues?
Interest earned in money market,
No.
It's gonna go up in,
go up to 7,000 on that. And then right on that 102, just go to 15,500 on interest earned, which I think that's gonna be low, because we're fixing to get 2 more interest increases
well, the first year.
before the first of the year. But yet,
What on the 101?
101 going to 780.
$1,000.
And then on, 15, on the 102, go to 15.5.
Because we're nearly at 14.
Yeah.
Did you say?
In my opinion on that, either one of those, we could put 10 on 101, or we could put 20 on 102, because what I'm thinking we're gonna be looking at, because you're looking at big money in the CD, it's 2 million plus in it, so.
So did you say 75 on 101? Or 7,000?
7.
But if interest rate went up 2%, all you get another $2,800 on the 14,000.
Yeah. But it's gonna go up more than that throughout the year.
Go ahead and say that, I got some other kind of money too.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll all balance out. Our economy is gonna continue to rise. We got 2 more months worth of interest. So
Yeah.
that can tell you a story right there.
No, I mean,
Just following the plan.
Something that's not in this budget is anything to do with courthouse security.
Well, have you made the business?
we're going to take care of it. It's already taken care of.
That's another question.
Were we doing 7510?
Well, all of them.
Oh, to move those over to the budget? No.
Yeah, this is not a big one. No.
At least the revenues we expect to get in about a year, we need to spend.
Yeah, I think all those funds, the revenues they get and the expenses will be washed, so, yeah, anything we expect to get in.
So if we don't overdo that, I mean, obviously some of those might reach into the corporate side. If we don't expend all of those, then fund balance then has to start grow. I mean, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Those aren't tax dollars.
No. No, all of those are fees and fines and things you get in from other.
No, that's what I think, that's what I think you need to know. Whatever revenue we think we're
When
going
I
to
put
collect
them,
in those different funds, we'll just expend them over there on the other side.
okay,
We don't have to spend it, it's about the budget with it that way.
yeah,
On 373.
We'll have fund balances left there each year,
right.
hopefully.
Can we go up on that? Because, I mean, you've got 36,000 in 2018, 34, 27.
Yeah, we should expend some, whatever we think we're gonna get.
Right, okay. No, I've got to get those added, but like I say, each one of those funds are going to be a wash, so looking at tax stuff down here with them. I don't know that, that might be something we talked to Heath about, because that's money that they get back for us to give on that.
Right.
So I don't know if that could be raised or not. I mean, we.
They get back for us to give.
Well, because we expend that placement money, and sometimes the state will give back some money.
Say sometimes.
Sometimes, because you can see in the past,
36,
Back to that swag method.
34.
see in 16, we got 17,000, and 15, we got 8,000, so it's
Well, since
gonna.
Heath has taken over, got that. Correct.
No, the Okra didn't do it all.
Don't take much growth this year.
Taking the price.
Juvenile
Is that what we're gonna have left over in contingency, about 19,000?
That's 20% of what we put in.
Because I did move that money to those constable lines, to take that off, yeah. Have what? That's gonna come out of back in the courthouse budget, yeah. And I looked at it, and that around seven, what was that? Had the 40, you said 40 animal, 48. For the hose thing out here in the courthouse they're gonna do, that's gonna come out. I think we had enough money in the 510.
They're working on
A
that?
little short, fine.
It'll start tomorrow, I think.
48.
48.
So we'll miss all that. That's right.
They're supposed to be here tomorrow morning.
28, yeah. One thing we needed to talk about in
There's
this
still money in
budget
courthouse.
that we need to think and consider about is our DVRs in the jail and also cameras in the jail.
Right.
We don't think much about that, but those are two important things that we've got in the jail, we gotta keep current and add to. There's some replacement needs to be done on the DVRs, and there's cameras that need to be replaced. I mean, there's some important cameras that need to be replaced. And one of the reasons is the visual on some of those cameras is not very good.
Or they're what? High
They've been damaged or they never working?
Well, no, they were good, but over time, the sun eats up the ones that are on outside.
Because we don't have anything in other.
Kind of like headlight lens on the car.
And I guess my thought is we could take some of this contingency money we got left and purchase some of those either DVRs or some of the cameras out of that deal. Do you have any money left over anywhere in the jail budget? Zero?
That water bill ate us up pretty good this year.
I think the shower is back. Shower every other day.
There's no telling how many times they shower.
See, we budgeted 20,000 on that water, and it's already at $20,086, and I still probably have August and September's bill. Just saying.
I would say that water budget is probably doubled since we opened the jail. At least.
Yep. Like I say, I'm hoping the electricity with this new contract does go down, like we said, but because right now it's nearly $71,000 and we budgeted 62, and that's a negative.
Do you think that water bill be 40?
No, I said since we've opened the jail, our water bill's doubled.
Oh, yeah, more, yeah.
I believe what, last year, or year before, everybody's doubled.
Want to put the new meters in?
But
Maybe we need to look into drilling a water well so we can do other things besides. I mean, I know we can't use a water well as far as
I don't know what I have to have on.
giving it to the public,
Like water on.
or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, you'd always want that city water as backup.
Absolutely. Well, I don't think a law that we can even give
all
them.
these backup stuff and all that kind of stuff. If you put something like that on water well like that costs funds.
Oh, I know.
They drink it, get sick.
Well, that's what I just said. We don't want to give it to the people.
Got good minerals.
You got a garden back
I drink
there,
out of my
that
water.
might be- you're not watering the garden, are you?
No, but we don't even have a garden this year. It's too hot.
Do you water the grass?
Yes. If we spend too much money on that, then just let it burn up and go to waste.
Yeah, so there's 19,000 left in contingency after I moved that money out to pay up those constable because we did save, I think it was $300 or $400 in the interest by going ahead and paying them off.
if we can stay with that same budget that we usually last time.
Gardner.
Gardner, what we call it, certain deal. Keep it all the same.
The Gardner cameras are there.
Yeah, by far.
They're the ones that came and gave the bid, the ones that we put into the.
Courthouse.
If they done the last group that we done, they were original, those original cameras, and they have the real fog, don't believe it.
Bosch, yes, they are.
Yeah, Bosch, we had lots of Bosch cameras.
The new ones, we moved, the last one before the new.
I didn't even have the answer.
Sure. All Bosches are.
I mean, because we try to figure the payroll and stuff out there. And then I try to consider their paving coming out there, so you're talking about fund balances and general and.
We got, I think we did have out there, we got.
Fund balance elsewhere.
We go by payrolls we have left, and then try to consider expenses we're gonna have, like your general expenses. I don't know anything big being purchased of that.
Hey, Travis, how much trouble you had with the key system?
Restraining order.
How much trouble you had with
A
the
lot
key
of
system?
thing in the front. The key system, you know how it doesn't work, only certain ones work.
Oh, it's working on all, the doors in the lobby, you know, when you go into the jail, in the lobby there, they're not working there, or in the train, remember where they did.
We're leaving tomorrow, going to Thursday.
But it's just a matter of time.
That's all
for
they
it all. We've got it.
They've got it band-aided
I'll be around
together right now.
Yeah, and we have a bid to get them replaced.
How much it is?
I don't remember, I had all that down in my call. Yeah, we
It's
have
in
that
bad shape.
to get it fixed. There's a lot of things going on over there that,
What I'm saying is, if we don't scatter them out, it's gonna cost so much more time.
right. And I'm more concerned right now with getting the dispatch problems taken care of first. And I should have,
You know, ready to go off that now?
I
I don't know why you gonna put on
got another, where he's about co-op in that. Anyway, I have
Let's
a,
talk about co-opting the funding of it.
oh, I
We're
understand.
getting laid up.
Yeah.
This or another strong discussion.
Anyway, I had all this stuff, I'll get it with you.
I think most of your gripes are coming from one entity that don't have any room to gripe anyway.
Yeah, you're right.
The less
You're
we
gonna-
have-
They're doing fine, they just need to mind their own business.
My problem is, you know, whenever I talked to Eastland County about it, they hated it.
Now, wait a minute. Travis, that's exactly the option that I get from.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, there was me, and I'm not, why would I sit here and lie about it? I had 3 people with me that day, 2 of the people. I had 2 of the people with me that day, and they all said, and they all heard the same thing I did. They hated it and didn't like it because just like this right here, nobody could ever get along and nobody could ever make a decision.
Well, that county judge down there and their director both told me exactly the opposite.
No, that's
And
not,
their dispatcher.
that's not,
Dispatcher.
and that's not what they told me, it's the director and the dispatch supervisor. And it was just me and
County Judge Redfield, ain't that the county judge?
Redfield.
Yeah.
I don't remember, we talked to, the guy who's over it right now, who's like the
He's the
director of it.
He's
I got a good
assistant-
buddy.
He's the assistant DA prosecutor.
Yeah, that's the one we
Or not
talked to,
prosecutor,
said
but
that it
investigator.
wasn't, the way they had it, whenever they did